folks, I had to talk about this because when I was researching, children's literature for my column and some of my favorite children's books, I was looking at the history of The Country Bunny and the Golden Shoes, one of my favorite children's books. And lo and behold, I see Mother Rabbit is a feminist icon. Oh, for goodness sake, these leftists, they are so seriously insecure that they have to resort to latching on to fictional rabbits to help themselves get some self-worth. Oh, please. All right, let's unpack this a little bit. All right, when I was a kid, I liked the books because the story was original, fresh, it was interesting, magical, and I like little miniature scenes. I'm a miniaturist, so I liked the story about the picture in the egg and all the magical halls and the Easter bunnies, and it was just one of my favorite books. And I am not thinking, and as a small child, I'm not thinking of feminist tropes, nor am I thinking about it that it's a race issue. But the left, they're always, they see feminism and race in everything because they're just obsessed, totally obsessed. All right. Now, to me, it just seems like, it's a lesson. Work hard, have good character, and success will come to you. Good things will happen to you because you were a good person and worked very hard. So, that's kind of an obvious theme of the book. And I said a child is not going to get any kind of feminist ideas because a child has no idea that poor mothers are discarded and discounted and thought they can't do anything. Because a child hasn't been there yet, so they don't understand the point of view. But anyhow, in retrospect, it's a nice point that even though she had a responsibility and a large family, the mother was still able to achieve her dream. That is a very good point, come to think of it. But still, that is no reason to politicize a children's book. I would say I'm definitely opposed to that. And as for the thought that, it's a race-based book, I don't think so. In the first place, rabbits are rabbits. The point is, it's more of an underdog story because a plain little field bunny, there's tons and tons of little field bunnies. I feed half a dozen in my backyard. Plain little brown field bunny, very common, very ordinary. And white rabbits are like rare breeds that everybody usually really likes and really wants, and they're rare breeds, so they're seen as snobby characters, just like cats are usually snobby characters in children's literature. And of course, the jackrabbits, they're stronger, faster, bigger, and the little mother rabbit, she is just small and average. She's a small, average little underdog, but she has this big dream that she's going to be one of the top Easter bunnies. So that's very nice. And that doesn't have anything to do with race. And this story the author had been told this story by his mother, so perhaps his mother had made it up. The only thing I see from his biography is that he is likely the sick little boy who the Easter Bunny delivers the egg to, because it said that he was a sickly child and had different illnesses. So I'll go with that. Beyond this book, the man and his wife, together, they wrote Porgy and Bess, or Porgy and Bess, however you pronounce that, the musical about the black people. And it was significant because it was the first play to include an all African American or all black cast, however you want to say it. Now, yeah, he doesn't seem to be racist at all. They said he's a little stereotypical. But I'm guessing that he, living in the South as a Southerner, he seemed to have a very pleasant attitude. He didn't seem to hold any grudges. Usually there was definitely a lot of racism in the South, especially back in the old days. But he seems like he has a pretty nice attitude, although I would say that I'm surprised people aren't saying, oh, he's culturally appropriating, because he is, as a white man, is writing about the life of black people, and therefore he is profiteering off their lives and their culture. So they could say that. But apparently he was interested in their culture because he, as a southern boy, he probably knew a lot of black people and grew up with them and wanted to write about them. So that's an interesting point. But like I said, he does not seem to have any kind of bitterness, which is good for a southerner, which is surprising, actually. All right. So the bottom line is, these leftists, they feel threatened by children's literature. I was recently watching a video about Dr. Seuss, and where Jamie Lee Curtis said how she was, intimidated by Dick, Jane, and Sally. Now, I was a child, I learned to read Dick, Jane, and Sally. I like Dick, Jane, and Sally. They're a fun little group of kids. They have simple little adventures, but for a little kid, that's all you need. I certainly didn't feel that I had to behave like Dick, Jane, and Sally. I mean, Dick, Jane, and Sally, they were their own person, and I was my own person, and that's that. So, the bottom line is, these conflicts that these left-wingers have with reading feminism, racism, psychology, and all kind of problems into these children's literatures just exposes their little twisted little psyche they've got going on up there. And that is not healthy. They need to see children's literature for what it is, and see people and characters for what they are, instead of always trying to be so suspicious and always making everything political. So it's just ridiculous that a mother rabbit, a fictional mother rabbit, should become a feminist icon, which proves that they are just grasping at straws, and it's totally a laughingstock way to behave and think. Of course, they are entitled to think their own ridiculous thoughts, because that's the left, and they're just being themselves. So, the moral of the story is, children's literature is children's literature. It often has stories about good morals, good character, good ethics, and about underdogs who work hard and achieve success. And we do not need to be reading a bunch of political garbage into these simple tales. I rest my case. Talk to you later. Let freedom ring.